Sorry about that, viewers. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another and perhaps the final Major League MechWarrior cast. Yes, this is the final series between EmpyreaL and Steel Jaguar. If EmpyreaL wins it today, the tournament is over and they take home the grand prize of nearly $1,300. If SJR wins, because this is a double elimination format, they will have to take another series off of EMP next week. So, we'll see what happens with that, and before we get started here, I'm going to try to get as much crap done as I can. There are a few announcements and shoutouts and all sorts of other fun stuff. First of all, I'd like to say that aside from the grand prize, we also have a bunch of prizes for 4 other teams, the lower tier prizes, and I'm going to be announcing the winners of those today. So if you were on one of those teams, get ready. You're getting 2,000 MC for every single member on your team. Going Down Swinging was awarded to Stratagame Mercenary Corp and affiliates. They took down the most enemy mechs despite a loss in week 1. And in fact, they did it by a rather large margin, so congratulations to them. We've got an early elimination prize. It was chosen randomly between the 8 teams that were eliminated in week 2, and New Texas Mercenaries ended up being the winner of that. So congratulations, all of you. You know, you showed up, you didn't have a lot of competitive experience, probably none for that matter, and you showed up, had a good attitude, and you're walking away with something for it. The paint competition won handily by Eisengrim. Let's be honest, anyone that makes videos showing off their paint, they got tons of screenshots, they're all painted up, they got into it. So for having the spirit to go along with the paint, and frankly an abrasive paint job that I love, I'm giving it to Eisengrim. And based on the responses from the other teams, the winner of the Sportsmanship Award is going to Marine Mechs. Everybody said they had fun matches with you guys. You guys really put in a lot of work and did well, and congratulations to all those teams. So, team captains of those teams, I will be sending out an email in the next however long with all of your codes and all of that fun stuff to distribute. And there are some individual 500 MC awards, but I will save that for later because we're probably going to get started in not too long here. I probably actually have an invite. Sure enough. And they are getting lobby formed, so see how that goes, and I will keep everyone updated on that progress. And I assume joining me finally is going to be Seriothrax. Let's turn that webcam on. I think he's mostly dressed, so no.
I've been dressed for a bit, I just haven't been set
Are
up.
you kidding me? What? Oh, because it's a monitor capture and I have to keep that stupid window up. Oh man. Yeah, we've got some technical problems, ladies and gentlemen, but the biggest technical problem of all, the overlay mess up that I kept doing where we just do a radio broadcast, that will not happen anymore because of the automatic scene switcher, which you just saw in action. So be thankful for that. Thank you, OBS. So let's see.
Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Seriothrax. Sorry I'm late, I just got in the door from work, so.
Yes, the illustrious World of Tanks player.
And again, outing me at the beginning.
I mean, what can I say? You know? And of course, Siri isn't just a World of Tanks player.
My pedigree as like an ex-SJR player, as
I know, and I just
mod. But no, you gotta pick the thing that like is the worst about me, eh? So.
Pretty much, but of course, as he just said, he is, I don't know, ex-SJR, but he just doesn't play MWO with SJR, but he was there for a long time, played with him competitively. I'd say one of their top players, although it's pretty hard on SJR to really say that. Both these teams, definitely the top 2 in the game, have been for a long time, even EmpyreaL in different forms as Lords, DV, whatever else. So, Siri, what do you think about this match?
Well, like you said, if the fact that they're in this finals match doesn't indicate it already, top teams in the game, and lots of history between them, whether it's in their current incarnations where they've met and scrapped over other finals, or in the members of Imperial who have come from these different units, all of them have squared off against SJR at one point or another. And it's frankly, I'm hoping this is going to be one of the best matches that we've ever casted.
As am I. I'm really hoping for a nail-biter, 5 matches all the way out. And frankly, there is precedent for that. Quick review of EMP versus SJR recently. SJR pretty much stomped EMP in the Run Hot or Die finals. It's an 8v8 league, and it just wasn't EMP's day. They were not having a good day, and SJR really was on. They took it to them. EMP came right back in the Major League MechWarrior winners bracket final and 3-0'd SJR. Again, I think that SJR was sort of having an off day there, but still, the second match was very close. EMP did a great defensive firing line. And then in MRBC more recently, they've each picked up a match against each other, 3-2 victory. So, I mean, this comes right down to the wire. There's no predicting this one.
And speaking of the previous matches that we had, the one in this tournament, it was on... Oh, 1 second. Your stream started going. It was messing me up. Speaking of the previous matches in this tournament, the matchup where EMP knocked Steel Jaguar down into the losers bracket, that was on HBG. And having discussed with some members of SJR, that is, bar none, their weakest map. For some reason, it just doesn't click. And for what I've seen out of EMP, on the flip side, that's one of their strongest, one of their bread and butter maps. I've not seen these two play on Mind Collective. It's going to be, with any luck, a completely different dynamic.
I actually did catch one of the MRBC matches between SJR and EMP on that map. It was really good, you know, nail biter whole way through, went back and forth. Anybody that hasn't seen MRBC, definitely check that out. It's a great league, has a much different format, much more restrictive in terms of drop decks, and sort of pushes you away from just the standard meta kind of stuff. And it also is a less Boolean league. You earn money for, you know, kills and basically everything, instead of it just being, is this a win or is this a loss?
Yeah, Bill, actually, speaking of money, as the organizer, you want to tell us a little bit about this tournament and what's on the line for the match?
You know, that is probably a great plan. I always forget to do a sort of big picture overview, but this is Major League MechWarrior. This is the first cash prize tournament in MechWarrior Online's history. $3,850 contributed total, $1,000 by PGI for various codes and prizes like that, and then $2,850 for the main prize pool, which means nearly $1,300 for the winner. I'm just going to do math off the top of my head and say somewhere around $800, maybe $900 for the second place finisher, maybe a little bit less than that, and then, you know, a decent portion for third and fourth place as well. And it was geared towards like an anti-camping league. Shout out to Heimdallite, the team captain of EmpyreaL. He's the one who came up with the idea for this league and, you know, did all the boot work, the groundwork, got the website up and stuff, and then handed it off to me to run so there'd be no conflict of interest. I also just want to say that we'll probably have to cut this off halfway through because everybody is in lobby. Not everybody's readied up, but they are there, so we'll be launching shortly.
We lost one.
Did we? Yeah. Not surprising.
Our insiders in the lobby, who for once are actually us. This is fantastic. We're not like out of the blue. Oh my god, we're in a match.
Yeah, you can. I shout out to PGI for this new spectator mode. I do think there are lots of ways to improve it, but I think this is such a huge step forward, especially the player markers and names, the outline, you know, the controls are pretty good, but the view mode's just so much better, and I hope that we can display that for you here today.
And my god, it is just perfectly timed, because trying to spectate Mind Collective on the old system would have been utter rubbish.
Definitely. Like, I also just want to say, your webcam is gone and replaced by an ad. So, just throwing that out there. If you care, I mean, you can be a handsome, get a free movie ticket guy. Okay, there you go.
There we go.
Alright, so So good. I think we're all set on that front. And yeah, definitely thanks to PGI for all the support you've given us. Big shout out to Tina, the new community manager. She's been so helpful, whether it's, investigating things or getting the team elos or advertising or whatever. She's been there. She's been responsive. She's been helpful. Give her a raise. So, continuing on what this league is about, it's sort of meant to be anti-camping, and the way that was done was Conquest is the game type for drops 1, 3, and 5, 3, 3, 3, 3 class split. So it sort of forces the objectives. If nothing else, no one can really camp it out. They're going to lose to caps. It looks like we are launching now. So first match, Conquest 3, 3, 3, 3. Get ready for it.
And for anybody wondering, the second stream for this cast will be up at twitch.tv/ZeroThrax. That's my channel. If somebody from chat could put a helpful multi-twitch in, that would be fantastic. But it will be up for some time to start this game.
Oh god. That's what we needed. Alright. I need the score timer.
Looks like the match has just started. We have, in red, is going to be SJR. They're starting on the, I believe this is south side here. They have brought 3 Firestarter S's, 2 Direwolves, and a Stalker, a Wolverine, a Stormcrow. I can't see their other medium, which is odd. A Hellbringer, a Timberwolf, and 2 Timberwolves, sorry. And it was 2 Stormcrows for us.
And it looks like both teams grab the quick cap while their main force heads to their respective point. They're both on the east side of the map right now, getting some trades in.
Trades going on already. It's about even both sides. South is the focus from EMP, and looks like G-Man and the Direwolf is taking the bulk of the return fire for SJR. EMP is setting up on a position that they've favored previously, these high side sort of water reservoirs, and it gives them a nice high ground advantage. It's one of the highest points on this map, and they're keeping their Direwolves just down low, controlling the low side lane, while their Timberwolves and other jumpers can get just different angles. Meanwhile, SJR is trying to just poke them off this with just long range fire, isolating out the Timberwolves, and getting strikes down on them. Trades overall fairly even, but I'd say going in EMP's favor. Gunman is down to 80% in Direwolf. I'm going to see exactly how damaged
Sorry, viewers. I got to turn Siri up, apparently. Hold on for just a second. Oh god, I don't know how to turn Siri's volume up. Talk louder, Siri.
Okay, I will do that, and I will move my mic closer. How's that?
That is good.
Alright, GP has killed a Duvo. What?
Yep. Body went down.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's going to put EMP at a rather large disadvantage here, in that they are a kill down. They could still... The game won't go to caps, almost assuredly.
Yeah,
but it does force them to
made
move.
A move for it. This is just a pure trade slugfest down the side.
Let's look at some of these weaker mechs here. We're going to try... Oh god, please give me the pointer. Not too bad for G-Man. Damage spread all over the place, so he's actually looking pretty good. Where did all of this stuff go? I can't get it back. Oh no.
That's awkward.
Yeah, I can't get the displays back. Well, there are plenty of bugs with the new spectator mode, so enjoy, viewers. This is a learning process for all of us.
Third person.
Okay, I've at least got the outlines working. So, outlines, MVP. It's EmpyreaL in blue, SGR in red. For anybody that's forgotten or doesn't know what the hell's going on. Neither team wants to make a move here, both aware of what's at stake here. And unless I am incorrect, it looks like the caps that were capped at the start have been decapped. That sort of doesn't make any sense.
They're still even. SJR actually had a point for a little bit, and they are... Actually, no, it's EMP, I believe, in blue, who are ahead 326 to 251.
New target acquired. Airstrike, artillery strike.
Do you know how to get back to aerial cam?
You know? Not on keyboard. On controller, I do.
Alright,
It's
give
the
me
B
a minute.
button.
You're gonna have to take over.
Alright,
No other
no
deaths
worries.
apart from Duvo, though.
Yep, this is kind of difficult without these team names. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, we're gonna have to scroll through manually to see damage numbers, I guess, unfortunately. Looks like EMP's taking some serious trades. Schopenhauer's really fresh in his Stormcrow. EMP's Timberwolf's not looking good. Riven, totally fresh in that ERPPC Gauss Direwolf. Twinkie,
Oh, I got
totally
it. It's
fresh.
V. Hit V.
V. It comes back! Yes, yes, the view is back. I love you, Siri. Alright, well, bug report
I have
filed.
third-person view. Here we go. It's half of EMP is really healthy. The other half is Salad, Proton, Hairpiece, Heimdallite. Those were the guys up high, and it looks like they've been worked down to about 60% each. Now, trade's going back the other way. Again, SJR overall is weaker. T-Fun 90 and his Firestarter, he's down to 49%. I'm actually going to hop into him and double-check that. He is in a Firestarter... No, he's not. Oh, right.
Oh, it looks like those lights are moving around the left for SGR, trying to at least turn EMP around here. A couple of
Yeah, they're
EMP
about
guys
to
are
go for a brawl
isolated
with these
here.
Stormcrows.
Coburn and Hairpiece are really isolated. Herp especially, 51% in that Stormcrow. But SGR's lights break off.
Yeah, the reason they did that is that T-Fun 90, his legs are both open in that Firestarter, and so they don't want to take that brawl. They're quickly going to go down one. They're going to pull back.
EMP
to
is
their
pushing
team
up.
and-
Here comes an EMP push. We're going to try to get in on Twinkie Overlord right. Oh my god, these aren't the same controls.
SJR is well set up. They take out Heimdallite, leading the push. Twinkie's the next one in, and the rest of EMP has gotten in here pretty good. The focus fire is split for SJR.
Twinkie goes down, so 2 for SGR. EMP is
now
getting really
4-1.
split out now, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. This is just a devastating concave coming out of SJR. It is 5 mechs left for EMP, and only 2 are dead on SJR's side. This is going to be a rout pretty damn quick.
Jaeger goes down for SJR. Glory goes down, but Eminent goes down for EMP. We're in on these lights now.
And the reason
Coburn
why this
almost
happened, look at the cap points. That was what that move over with the Firestarters was. I missed it because we were having those camera difficulties, but if you look at it, 3 points. 3 points for SJR. They're up now 545 when that ended. If EMP didn't make a move and SJR was in good positions to cover Theta, EMP was just going to get capped out. It was not a factor early. That flank move picking up 2 cap points, that was big. The other thing that's big, a Duvo. Well, kind of small now because 1 tick of damage. JP in the Direwolf? Oh yeah, JP was in a Direwolf. That explains everything. What that was a low-mounted Gauss shot, maybe even dual Gauss, coming out of JP on one of his low-slung arms into Addy's back.
That would be
Hashtag
tragic.
Never trust Addy.
I mean, you say that, but he was up at mid where nobody else was. I am actually
really?
kind of really curious what... Yeah, he died at mid with nobody else around that I saw, so I don't know if it was a light or I don't know if it was like a lucky shot or what. I wish I would have seen that, because honestly,
In that case, I have
that
no
did
clue.
set the pace for the rest of the game, because when they're down one of their best light pilots, now SGR can control the cap game. They did control the cap game, and they forced EMP to push in an unfavorable situation where they're already a man down. So great slow play by SJR.
If that's the case, if he was over by middle, probably a strike. I'm actually going to ask, like, what that was.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to figure out what that was. Viewers, if we're just having all sorts of weird display issues and things, I'm sorry. I have no clue what's going on. I will try to watch stream chat as well, but not a whole lot I can do on that one.
Yeah, that was the rough first cast ever. We are good to go.
Allegedly. And before I forget, everybody should be watching Stream Chat. Why? Because people are giving away mech bays there. Me and 2 other guys I've given codes to give them away, unless they just, made off with them. And, then whatever. That's the mercenary life for you. Let's see how many people are typing no pants now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and... Oh, I should give you the map tactic
You
link.
probably should give me the map tactic, like I asked.
It's not my fault. Nothing's my fault.
In other news. Alright, quote from Twinkie in the lobby, the story of Addy's death. Strafed into his shot at like 700 meters.
Oh.
That's
that is
ridiculously unlucky.
tragic. Oh my god. I am sure EMP is not happy about this one, but I will say that EMP has some amazing players that can, come back from a moment like that and not let it get in their head. So we'll see, but that is something I would just be furious about. So, man. Press F to pay respects. Very nice.
Still need that link, by the way.
It's in Skype. If I sent it to you over TeamSpeak, all the peasants would be in here drawing on our map. Alright, let's check chat. While you recap the match, I'm going to give out some mech bays.
Okay, you need to give me driver.
Ah, that's right. I wish anybody that showed up could just be driver automatically. Alright, you're good.
Excellent. So, the main thing here, I'm going to go with blue for SJR, red for EMP. That was our dealio. SJR was set up in this area, and EMP, they had a couple guys high on the water reservoirs, like I said, the highest point on the map, and they had the rest down low, right, like where the P in this logo is, fantastic. And it was just long sight lines trading through these alleys here. And it was fairly even. The thing here was that EMP was trying to take that top high point, and that naturally, well, you get to work your angles on your choice. It also you can also be the only one exposed to people in the deep backfield that your allies can't see. And so the trade, it was pretty even. SJR's was rotated around a lot more of their mechs. It was it was spread on 8 or 9 of their mechs, and it seemed like they had taken a little bit more damage on those. Well, that's percentage numbers. Percentage numbers can lie. If you lose a Hellbringer's left arm, which is useless and has no weapons, well, that's still like 20% off. And meanwhile, on EMP's side, all of their damage was focused on the 6 guys up high. And so when the time comes to push, you have to send only those healthy guys through, and... Sorry for the break in my train of thought. Everybody just left lobby instead of switching. RIP. We'll get a new lobby invite in a second, Bill.
We're so lonely in our lobby now.
But that wasn't the key thing. The key things, like we already discussed, were the ridiculously unlucky hashtag never trust Addy to not block your shot, jumping in front, strafing side, 700-meter team kill. That's on a light, that's on your mobility in a 3-3-3-3 format. It's completely symmetrical, more or less, with their mech choice. SJR knows this. Addy's dead. They don't even have to have had target lock at any point in the match to know, hey, light specialist is dead. Come on, guys. We have the light lance victory. They just swing down. They take... wrong color. They take Theta. They take Epsilon. Meanwhile, those Stormcrows who moved out, and I'm guessing 1 or 2 of Lights, they took Gamma back for EMP. Doesn't matter. It's 3-2. You are pinned down in this upper spot. The issue that EMP runs into is that this... It's very hard to tell from up top, but this square here, low ground. You push that, you're gonna get torn up by the You're either going to leave your guys on that high ground, exposed, wrapped around on a push, eliminated, while those guys are down low, or get caught out in the square, slaughtered. You can try pushing Theta with the bulk of your mechs, but again, there's like one entrance here, and this is too tall to jump jet up on, effectively. Basically, by getting that cap advantage, SJR forced EMP's hand. They were completely set up, brutal concave, limited alleys through that halfway point of the map, and Defender's advantage just completely takes that.
Definitely, it was an unlucky turn of events, but SJR exploited it expertly, so gotta give him credit for that. So now we move on to match 2, which is Skirmish, 720 tons, no class restrictions. They can build the deck however they want, so you see a lot of pretty uniform decks where, you know, people bring all Stormcrows or something similar. All Thunderbolts was popular at some point in like week 5 or 6.
The one that we've seen the last 2 weeks was mass, like Hellbringer and Timmy, and that's basically to be expected. That being said, it was on Caustic, where jump jets are not as important, and if you want to go heavier on Timmy's, I think that means you got to bring a couple more lights compared to just the Hellbringer.
Yeah, it's definitely a question of how they want to do it, and your webcam is gone again, by the way. I know, right? What the hell? So many technical difficulties, but yeah, so this next match, EMP gets to pick which side they want, but now SJR basically...
Side 2?
Yeah, and SJR basically can just sort of defend, like the burden to push is on EMP because they're down a match, and in the event of a tie, if it is a stalemate, both teams pick up a win. So better than an outright loss, but usually people aren't willing to just sacrifice a match for nothing. So we'll see how this goes. I expect some aggressive EMP play. And definitely for anyone that's not watching this on both streams, go to multitwitch.tv/homelessbill/seriothorax to get both of our views simultaneously. It'll be much better because one of us may actually have a camera on something that matters at that time. We're still working with these new tools, and there definitely are some sketchy little bugs here, but you know what? It's okay. I like how people just randomly now start typing no pants in channel. Like, I didn't even tell people to start. They just started. I love my stream. You guys are the best.
Are you in the lobby right now?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
They haven't sent me an invite. Your webcam is down again, so you know what? I'm just going to let you be a Toyota ad. You are a Toyota ad. Don't fight it. Just let it happen. Just let this happen. Any Rick and Morty fans out there? If you're not, you should be. Rick and Morty's a great show. Season 2, nailing it. In the meantime, you know what? Let's do some of the crap that I've probably needed to do for a while now, which is shout-outs to followers and people that have subscribed to me and things like that, so bear with... Oh my god, we just got a ton of new ones too. Alright, well this is going to be fun. Let's see if we can find the... Oh my god, I haven't done this in months. Alright. Let's do this. Tracef, Great Grandpappy, MW Warlock, Prince Spiz, Denatonium, some Joa Ferraria, Lloyd __, Dead Infinity, Zanishi, Dogstar 34, Violation MW, Snapstyle, Slider 18, Mr. Petzel, Alec Karinsky, Darklight 228, Lone Plus, Spriggan 87, Desoku 7, some Russian name that it's in Russian. I can't read that, so I get a free pass on that one. Diotase Fortuna. Do you guys just choose these names so I can't pronounce it? Faustington Oddmajo, I don't know. Ekarin, Kamikaze, Fat Ferret, I like that name. It's Euro, Denatonium. Your Twitch export has succeeded. I don't think that's a username. Grimpretty, Slim Spady 101, Christo Jam, and from today, Dave Ratters, Darius Nye,
Is this Funkology.
This is so close. I haven't done it in forever. Flames Fanatic, Kyle11, Yoshi, that one, Techno Panda, and Terciel1976. Thank you for following or subscribing or whatever the hell you did.
Wait. Techno Panda just followed today.
Allegedly.
Can you give
I
me
know,
moderatorship, like, in your channel so I can ban him?
I don't know how to do that, but yeah, if you know the command,
Just
sure.
type /mod and then serial thrax.
/mod serial thrax. Sweet, that was easy. Alright, let's start banning people like crazy.
Cool. Excellent. Mod privileges abused here and
I see all the message deleted.
Alright,
Oh, you dick.
so
We have fun here.
getting back into this.
Make sure that SJR isn't like launching without us. I feel like they're gonna forget to add us in one of these lobbies. It's gonna happen.
SJR is online, but it's not showing as in lobby, so we are okay, I think.
Okay. Alright, good enough.
Also, I believe my camera's working now, just like permanently. I swapped the USB slot that it was in, so yay, if it doesn't work, turn it off and on again.
Nailed it.
Tech support 101.
Siri, we've got a question from the viewers.
Go for it.
Is whatever you drew in Charlie 4 a penis? I mean, he's got a point.
Penis, you've been watching some really weird porn.
I mean, it's better than most of the other penises they find, so I just gotta throw that out there. Oh, also, shout out to NGNG. Thank you for hosting us. You guys rock. And I guess I'll also take this brief intermission to throw out there that now anyone can cast, right? So if you guys are interested in casting, if you've ever thought about it, if you're not really sure, you don't want to take all the time to set up this stupid overlay stuff, this stupid overlay stuff is basically done for you. I actually made a little 10-minute tutorial video that will help you get set up in like 10 minutes, and you'll be using this awesome overlay thing, which has the ability to switch views and stuff, kind of like this. Why did I have the standby screen up this whole time? Who knows? But yeah, this overlay is awesome. Big shout out to Farp Noodle, who, by the way, is getting 2000 MC for helping us out with this tool and giving this tool to everybody. You know, big thanks to him. Big thanks to Snaffits for doing the custom bracket display on MajorLeagueMechWarrior.com. If you haven't checked that out, you should. It's actually got, like, you know, match pictures, and I think you might have linked videos in there. Good stuff. So big shout out to everybody who's helped me with this. Oh, and Blade Splint, because he made this new background, so we have webcam cutouts. So many people to thank. So little time.
SJR is in lobby. I'm gonna go yell at them to make sure that we get invites. Since you haven't already. One
Yeah.
second.
I'm really hoping that that is actually the link and I'm not just linking somebody to... Yep, okay. How many mech bays do I have? Someone asked in chat 5 minutes ago. Well, I've got, let's see, I've got like 14, 13 left, something like that, and a couple others are giving stuff out in the chat, so stay tuned, there's going to be more. We just got a lobby invite from Mag, so go ahead and enjoy. Like the lobby's almost all the way made as well. Okay, scene switcher still works. Still going strong. Good stuff. Alright. So yeah, second match again. Skirmish, 720 tons. You can build the decks however you want. We obviously can't see them in the lobby. Good on PGI for that, by the way. That's an oversight that could have been really easy to miss, where the spectators can see all of the chassis in the drop lobby, but that is not how it turned out, so thank you guys for that.
Well, I mean, if we're talking historically, remember back when lobbies were first made, or were first proposed, and you could see the other team's mechs? That was a great plan, but I'm glad we got that fixed before it went live.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
So,
DJI
anyways,
has made
learning
some
from mistakes,
interesting choices,
+1
but you know
PPU.
what? They're doing a lot better these days. They're taking a lot of feedback, and even when they don't get it right the first time, they're actually reacting to community feedback and putting the polish on the game. So it's a good time to be playing this game. It was a long, dark open beta full of horrible imbalance and all the streaks. Flashbacks, man.
So the thing coming up here is that EMP has actually decided to switch sides for the skirmish match. I believe that puts them where SJR was before. And we do have a full team. They're not quite ready up. EMP is looking almost there. SJR is getting on its way. But we should have a match pretty darn quick. Now, this is going to be skirmish. It's just going to be the pure trades. If something as tragic and hilarious as Addy dying happens again, the other team, instead of having to go for caps, or being free to go for caps, it's even better than that. They can just sit back, wait it out, and win. So, just getting some lobby options fixed up, and we should have a match for you soon. Ill, any thoughts before we go into this?
Honestly, not really. I sort of expect, a kind of repeat with like a cautious trade kind of deal. And, if there's no clear winner, I don't know. We've never seen someone take the tie so far. And I don't really expect it now. I expect that if EMP, whether or not they've done what they wanted to do after the trade, they're just going to go for it and do it live, because they're just better off that way. They can afford to be more aggressive here because they don't have to win this series. It doesn't matter. This is just one of two opportunities they get to take home the grand prize, basically. So I'm hoping, anyways, that we see some aggressive play out of them and, another good response from SJR. Going for 5 matches. That's all I want.
Yeah, that was something we were speculating about the previous weeks, was the team, the team that's previously lost in the past. I think it was 3 encounters they've had. Actually, going back, since EMP was incorporated, I think it's basically been a trade back and forth every time they've met. So, SJR's ahead 1. Let's see if they can pull it up to 2. We are into the match. Mining Collective, skirmish mode, and 720 tons. Question I'm gonna see answered as soon as I load in here. Did EMP bring Daishis? The Direwolf, or how come I can't see anything? Bill, I'm scared. I can fly around, but I can't see mechs. Ah, there we go.
Yeah, they're just kind of hidden. It's okay. If you turn Q on, it'll... Alright.
The answer is no. Yes, they brought 1 Daishi, piloted by Twinkie Overlord. And
what a shock.
That is his spirit mech, no doubt about it. The rest of their team is rounded out by Timberwolves, Stormcrows, and 4 Lights, 3 5-stars, and a Raven. They've also brought a Quick Draw. That's an interesting choice. I'm going to hop in and check it out while you tell us what SJR has.
What is that? SJR right now splitting the Lights going on their right and the main force grouping up on the left side, which is the east side of the map. And it looks like SJR's brought a pretty uniform deck here. Hellbringers, Timberwolves, Firestarters. That's what they've got. That's what they're sticking with. Nothing fancy here.
Ooh. SJR's Lights getting a good scout early. Could have been a really risky scout. T-Fun and Fabrosion peeking that middle right side for them, and they watch EMP just barreling down that flank. They look like they want to take this hard and quick to the middle and at least get actively engaged on the trades. The Lights for SJR flexing away, whereas the rest of the heavies and mediums
What is
are
this?
in position.
Aurora hiding in the dark in his Firestarter. I don't know what this is, but he's on the back plane.
Yeah, he's able to get so high up that mountain without going out of bounds that with the Mark 1 eyeball,
and maybe some Gamma, which is now adjustable in the options, or just, you know, like, look at where SJR is, it's really well lit. He can give them all the info they need without ever being at risk of even being, like, targetable.
It's definitely not a bad strategy. SJR continuing to move left here. EMP doing the same thing. We're doing a reverse NASCAR today. This is the elites. We don't go right, we go left.
RR is bailing off now because he got into lock range of T-Fun. If you look at this, they're just spread north-south all along here. Good trades down the middle, seeing who can out-peak. Damage fairly even, it seems.
I'm delayed taking an aggressive stance way up here alone, but he's not really in any danger. All of SJR is playing pretty conservatively here. Ooh, Heimdallite down to 92, crossing.
Yeah,
trades look about even.
86%. He was focused off the northern flank of this. He's up in those water reservoirs. He has to drop down and swing back. Now, reporting back on that quick draw, it's a quadruple ER large quick draw. That's what it's running. It's got pretty high shoulder mounts. Doesn't have jump jets. Wait, no, doesn't have jump jets? Yes, it does, obviously, to get up there. And, like, high mounts, jump jets, decent quirks. It's a good poker. At a budget tonnage.
It honestly looks like a decent mix from both teams. They've got some poking, but they've definitely got their knife fight stuff too.
All of SJR's lights are down in the south. They're looking just to probe out that flank, see if they can get any quick assassinations. And if they did, that would be on Schopenhauer or Selith up here on the top. Aurara's just doing that offside scout, just watching for that to come.
Cycling through damage on these mechs. I don't see anybody really that's hurt in a bad way. Jaeger took some CT damage. He's probably... This is Jaeger right here. It's not. It's just orange. It's the worst of anybody that I can see, but it's not bad.
Orange is actually about 60 to 70%, and that's significant. It's about a third of your total health gone. The color system in MW is a little weird. It's just like this lightest of yellow, like I said, all the way until about 60%. At about 50%, it's a good shade of orange. 40% is a deep orange. So it can actually sneak up on you pretty quick. But looking at these trades, they are definitely EMP's favor. Most of them, yeah, like lowest 85%, only a couple actually touched from EMP, while multiple on SJR have been not really molested, but lightly caressed.
And I definitely think the EMP's got definitely the more aggressive position here. They're up high, they've got the firing line for the most part. SJR just making peaks or sort of hiding back there. And frankly, that's all they have to do. They know that EMP ultimately has the burden of pushing in this round, and sure enough, EMP moves up to mid.
And let's talk a little bit about how EMP took this. They picked side 2. They knew exactly the position they wanted. They've scrimmed this out. They realized, you know, when I said over there the water reservoirs were one of the highest points, where Selith and Ex Machina and the Raven 4X are, those are the highest points. And more than that, it overwatches this center, which allows Rickrom, Ridden, and these other Timberwolves to just push up, slowly encroach, and try and get the new angles. Whereas SJR, their options from that side, much poorer. But like you said, SJR is comfortable with this. They can just preserve. What they need to watch for is just good scouting from their lights, making sure that they are ready and waiting and set up.
And they're about to get tested because EMP's lights are circling around here. If nothing else, maybe to get some strikes off, make people jiggle around a little bit. Otherwise, they're just doing scouting work back here, but they're definitely taking the long way, taking the sneaky way, ready to move in. I don't know if SJR spotted them.
I'm hopping into a Duvo's perspective just to give a positioning.
I think EMP's getting ready for a big push, and they might hit him from both sides here. Ooh, T-Fun caught out his fire starter. That's not good.
He's not caught out. He's out of range, 500 meters. He's fine, but SJR sees this coming now.
T-Fun down to 76%. SJR really kind of grouped up here in these narrow channels. Not a great place to be.
Yeah, EMP is slowly constricting, taking that map control away. After shoving T-Fun back there, they now have the southeast and the middle. SJR's options to run to the north, not so hot. So they're going to have to get some very, very good trades here. And the problem I see right now is that Erodian and Cornite are caught out ahead of the rest. in those two Hellbringers. They're going to need to cross this open. Erodian's getting torn out for it, down to 88%.
And Cornite, he is unfortunately isolated. He's going to be the one that gets wrecked when they all come around the corner. Unless he can really back it up there. But yeah, these strikes are good, and SJR is just really bunched up. This is not a good place to be. They needed a couple different levels of elevation down here. This is just like a shooting gallery.
It's not that bad. If you look at the percentages, it is trades either way. About 6 mechs on EMP who haven't taken anything. Heimdallite's the worst off. He's down to 53%.
And it's just his left torso mainly about to go, which I don't think he cares about at all. Oops.
EMP's falling back a bit. They got Riven down here just covering it. Watched over by Selith and the Raven.
More strikes continue to go in.
These strikes could tip it.
And because strikes are allowed in this league, grouping up like this, I mean, this is what happens. You really got to be careful. It can really eat your team alive when you get in any sort of scrunched in position. And they're definitely just trying to hide, get behind corners. Things are not looking good for SJR right now.
Well, I'm going to step back a minute. This is what I was talking about beforehand, in that the mass Hellbringer on this map, I feel, isn't quite as strong just because they don't have the jump jets to get up and down.
Exactly.
Jump jets. If you look where Rodian and Soul and are down here, they're pinned because they can't get up, jump up, and get out of that. It's not the worst. Oh, and here comes the EMP push. They feel like they're up enough that they're going to just take these high ground positions and see if they can close this out. The difference, again, is that Direwolf, once he's in this fight, once he gets just crippling trades, that might be enough to just punch a big enough hole. Gummin in the Timberwolf, Soul in the Hellbringer, and Jaguar in the Timberwolf are all very weak for SJR.
And yeah, Soul, G-Man down. 2 down for SJR, none for EMP. Heimdallite at 25% now. Direwolf, 54% Twinkie. Quick Draw down to 53%. So EMP's definitely taking some damage, but they're slow playing it. They're doing a great job keeping those mechs alive. I think Guts about to go down right here.
SJR is going to counter push here. Their lights are taking the high side, trying to take Schopenhauer out. They're trying to get an isolation on these guys down low in the middle channel here, and put Heimdallite, Rithen, and the other guys on the side out of the fight at the same time. So they're shifting this angle instead of just getting constricted. But they are down 5 mechs now. EMP has not lost a single one.
Yeah, and Erodian's going to get caught crossing here. Ooh. Still Rithen over there.
7-2 EMP favor.
And Rithen takes down
move.
SJR's lights. And now it's just going to be that fire starter.
Yeah, so what happens here, I'll draw it up on the map, is basically just SJR slowly but surely got constricted by EMP's play, and they lost map control.
Yeah, that was a great game on EMP's part. Slow playing it, do exactly what they wanted to just slowly tighten the noose, bit by bit, step by step. I mean, really, it was an incredibly slow but almost inescapable maneuver once SJR let him get to a certain point and take the high ground.
Methodical and relentless would be the 2 adverbs I'd pick for that.
And the 2 outlier mechs are the 2 that do the best. 677 from that quick draw Selith, and Twinkie Overlord 674. I guess Direwolf's not really an outlier, but in this kind of drop deck, typically you don't see it as much in the lights. Pulling low damage, but that's frankly because they didn't have to do much. They were there to put pressure on, and they did.
They got the eyes they needed, and they don't get you the checkmate. They just get you the check, is sort of the metaphor I'd use for that. But let's hop over to the map tactic, and I'll draw up exactly why EMP's choice of side 2 brought them this victory.
Alright, switching over to map tactic now.
Alright, so EMP spawns on the east, down this line. Now, their lights were spawning in this top one, so they're fast enough to get out of there. They put all their their big mechs in the bottom 2 lances, barreled down here, and they claimed the key position is this sort of upper platform promontory. if you look just up at the top side here, this position, this jutting out of the map boundary, completely cuts this map in half once you have this position. You have Overwatch on Theta, or where Theta would be, you're up high. You have good shots all the way through the west and the east. And because of how this map is cut down, if you want to shift east to west when you're SJR and you've got the northern end of this, you have to cross through either this lane right here or this lane right here, both of which are fired upon. And in fact, that high position we were talking on the water reservoirs right here, that is lower. Now, obviously you can't get all your mechs up here. And there's actually, we were surprised to see the quick draw, but he was one of the key guys who gets up on here. Compared to a Timberwolf, he has super high peak on those shoulders. The A left torso for the Timberwolf, not allowed in this, if I'm correct. Right?
Correct.
So the Timberwolves, they're all about mid-chest height at best for the peaks. And once it gets up there, you've got a Raven as well. You put one Timberwolf, sort of, kind of. The rest of your guys, they're flexing out a little bit along these buildings, a bit along here, and you've got just like this solid, sketch. You have solid control all through the south, and SJR gets bottled up to only about a quarter here. Now, SJR initially, they weren't entirely bottled up there. They were spread along east-west, but they realized once this middle is gone, any sort of crossing back and forth gets punished. And if one side gets pushed and isolated, well, those crossovers are punished. It's not a good time. And EMP Lights, they sling up the right flank, scout that out, maintain middle control with the heavies, so they have all of this now. They rotate like the long-range lights, the quick draw, one or two other guys over into the east. They now have 3/4 of this map locked down. And again, like we discussed in match, SJR's Hellbringers with this ramp right here, with these buildings, they have a hard time. They can't hop out. Their only route is through here, which they have to cross, which they got torn up doing. And SJR kind of late game put a counter push together trying to take this top water reservoir, and it was just too little too late. They tried to do the push, their attrition down too far. Twinkie Overlord's Direwolf is still up, punching massive mech-sized holes. That doesn't work. Massive mech-sized holes in mech. Don't think about that too much.
Whatever, it's a locust-sized hole.
That's
That's a
a
mech.
12-2 result.
Yeah, it was over really from the minute they got stuck down in the Pac-Man that I'm drawing right now. When it was there, it was like, it's hard to say they should have gone out the back towards like Bravo 1 because any place is better than where they were. It just gives EMP more time to close in, more control over the map, but shooting out of a kill box is just painful. They were never going to win the trades coming out of there, and I think they needed a little more drastic action earlier on.
It's possible. It's just not going to happen when it's two highly skilled, equally matched teams. And when they're in that kill box, that is your endgame scenario. Like you said, it's over at that point. It's the moves leading up to it that I really liked, which, for example, Aurora off on that mountain at the start, all of the information. He bails out, completely safe. That strong seizing of the center, very calculated. Gives them a good position to work with. SJR, though, that skirmish style, I don't know if it was because they were up one and they were like, we'll turtle this, or if they just weren't sure how to attack onto that position, but they needed a move to be made far before it was there. When they were in that Pac-Man position, it's done. So what they needed to do, they needed to scout the guys moving to C5 and put a push together, they needed to, maybe when Beta was being claimed with only like 4 Timberwolves, they need to rotate down like the 2 line. They need just a breakout before they're completely constricted.
Definitely. And next mech base just went out. Stellar Wayfarer, Pruton, Spz, Dracioseul, Dayhack, and Supercoop. You guys are all winning mech bays. Congratulations. Our lobby is almost formed up, so that will be on the way momentarily. My vest is hot. Like, literally. I mean, it's kind of uncomfortable, but...
I'm wearing a sweater. Don't complain.
See,
You're probably much further south than I am, so...
I'm in California, and I turned the AC off so you guys can actually not have just a bunch of static in the background. So, the things I do for you people.
Alright. So we're going back to Conquest. And
Yes.
EMP has shown that when they can take the positions they want, they're very strong. They know the game plan coming out of that. It was... like, I have no other ways to describe it. Like, it's not even Addy's fault. That, in that first match, that is a freak accident. Being pegged, one-shotted out the back at 700 meters by a teammate. I mean, yeah, sure, don't, like, jump in front of those alleys, but, like...
Yeah, it was... That's the kind of
it's
thing
like-
that just had... Those are like head strikes of the olden times, where...
It-
You know,
it's
when it
worse 'cause
happens,
it's
it
not even
happens.
enemy action.
Well, yeah, I mean, that too. That's like... This is far more random than the head strikes ever were, because those would happen quite frequently, but... Still, at the same time, it's just one of those things that... sorry. Couldn't do anything about it.
But we're back to Conquest, and the thing is that STR has demonstrated they know how to apply the pressure, they know how to set up the defensive position, and just completely take advantage of it once they're up on caps. That was opened up by the team kill. What we need to see now is what's their game plan when it's an even match. Can they flex out to the side? Can they win the light duel? Or bring Stormcrows along if needed, while not leaving their heavy pack under strength, and get that strategic advantage? Or are they going to be just taking it to them without the are they able to take it to them without requiring that cap advantage to force EMP's hand? And on the flip side, is EMP just going to do the trades? Or are they going to push out aggressively, seize Theta, or do some other sort of play to take cap control early, as opposed to the sort of passive trading that they did and like to do?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if SGR can recover from that one and put this together, maybe be a little more aggressive, because honestly, EMP is going to keep doing the same thing. They're all about map control, and that's the game they're going to play. SGR actually chose to stay on side 1, so they're choosing to, you know, have sort of a repeat scenario there, although it is Conquest.
It's Conquest. It's a completely different dynamic. That sort of... the play is not going to be the same there. I mean, they just got burned by playing the North. They weren't able to push the North last time. They had to receive the push, and it kind of demonstrates, like, going through that choked down area in the middle by the boundary of that map is really rough. Not surprised. If I were them, if I were still there, I'd want to go south instead. It just seems to me, watching this play out, that south gives you a lot more map control, and that's something that's always advantageous.
Definitely. We'll see what these teams do here, but I don't expect to see a weird freak accident like the first time. You never know, but never trust Adi.
Or Fission either, that trader.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm kidding, I still love you, Fission. Remember to send me my half.
And I'm just putting the teams up on the overlays right now so you can see their roster and some information about them. Don't have a lot on EMP. I don't know if they ended up sending it to me and I just didn't update the teams file or if I never got it. Who knows? But they're a thing and they're there. EMP, mostly ex-Lords players, but a lot of people from other units, particularly Swords of Kentaris, and I think a couple ex-SGR players as well. And SGR has just been around forever. Like, since what? Mech Warrior 4? Was that the first, or were they around in 3?
Well, I mean, Glory, Meg, they were around from Mech Warrior 4. Even if we're just talking Mech Warrior Online, they were here from the start. They were the ones who put together the first Run Hot or Die, like, single-day tournament. I mean, like... I don't know much. We've been over this, but I'm
It's
really
okay.
hyped for this third match, because this third match is going to set the tone for everything in this final. And as we said at the start, this final is potentially the biggest match we've ever had in Mech Warrior Online. Bigger than the Season 1 Run Hot or Die finals, bigger than the Invitational Season 2 finals, bigger, which were, like, again, the Clash of the Titans, Lords versus SJR. Bigger than latest season of Run Hot or Die. I think that's like 5 or 6 now, just on the basis that, like, participation that season was low. So, I mean, and of course the cash. This is massive. I wish they
Definitely.
would punch. I want to see it's all green. Come on, boys.
I know. I don't know what they're doing. I hear that in chat it's probably time to start stripping and earning my money. I'll think about it.
Don't worry.
But I need a donation link to be
Tribird later.
active.
I was gonna do it as a surprise, but we can channel Tribird later.
Ooh.
Please tell me you watched Egan Falconhawk.
No.
You know from the War Room.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tribird.
You see where I'm going with this. Anyways, less caster banter, more looking at shiny mechs in the match. In red on Team 2, we have the... not really the comeback kids, but the coming back in that last match, doing very good strategic movement. It's EMP. And in blue, on the west side, Team 1, same position they were last time, going south, called it, SJR.
Yeah, geez. Wait, is this map not aligned right in the battle grid, or is our map wrong? I don't know what's north and south anymore.
Yeah,
Whatever.
north-south in Smurfy's is rotated 90 degrees on this.
So, looks like pretty much
Oh, yeah.
repeat drop decks. A Stalker, 2 Direwolves from SJR, complement of Timberwolves, Stormcrow, and the lights are all fire starters, I assume. Yes.
Looks like it.
Same
SJR's
for
lights
EMP.
just picking up Epsilon on the west/north side and bugging out because barreling down on them is the... Oh no, never mind.
Jeez, yeah, both teams
So
pretty...
confused.
Both teams are going
It's
opposite
map.
ways. Right now, they're going NASCAR. Hit B, and you'll bring up the battle
Sorry.
grid so you can see what's going on.
No, I'm looking at that map and the rotation is messing me up. Sorry,
Yeah,
that was EMP's lights who were taking Epsilon and now they're leaving because SJR is barreling down on them. Whereas the rest of EMP, they've set up in this back right quadrant. They haven't seized a lot of map control. Looks like they're going to go for the trades. SJR has the position that EMP was in last time in the south/west here.
Some
Neither team
early
is taking
trades
Theta,
going on,
but EMP
nothing
has
big.
not managed to cross over through the northern channel that we were talking about that was hard to get through without being punished in order to pick up Kappa.
Although,
And as Twitch chat
Doesn't
knows,
seem
picking
like
up
they
Kappa
care.
is very important. Kappa.
that guy's face, it really is iconic.
Alright, now as EMPs make the move, Coburn and Duvo and the Firestar 9S's push across, just scout it out. Imminent and Aurora take the actual point itself. Imminent going along just to shepherd Aurora onto the point. They only need one guy
And
there. It goes pretty
EMP's
quick.
lights going up top. SGR, I'm pretty sure is going to see him, and they know they're there. This is
trouble
going
they
to
don't
put
really have the
EMP
firing
up on
angles.
caps.
It's only for Brosian and T-Fun and Legal in the lights who have the angles, and they're pushing up. They're just kind of pushing them off They're going to step on, but EMP has Overwatch on Theta. It's going to be rough for T-Fun getting on here. He's down to 93%.
And it's
found a good
decapped and
angle,
he's
just
gone. He just took the quick...
It's still a sliver in favor of EMP on my screen here. He just has to step on for like even a tenth of a second and it's done. But it's Coburn and Aduvo on the ramp are just peeking up and down. There it goes. Now it's neutralized. T-Fun, though, taking another 4% for it. That's worth
Still, somebody put down a strike his cover and it worked pretty well, so... Good play by SJR.
Yeah, that was a clutch move there. Nice little subtleties there. But
Having said that, EMP can just get right back on and take that back real quick.
Yeah, SJR isn't really in the best position to cover it, as well as EMP is with these positions back here.
EMP split between both sides. None of them are moving up. They're just ready to trade. SJR, similarly, just content to sit back there and chill out. Both the Dire Wolves are on the low side of the map.
Look at this position from Erodian over on the south side of the map. He's got a side shot on Theta, and when the lights hopped on, he took the volley onto one of them. That was a pretty good shot. The small trade's going out. This is basically symmetrical. 245 on the cap points for EMP. Tops out at 750 if you're somehow unfamiliar. Still lots of time for SJR to put something together.
Yep, T-Fun sitting there, sort of waiting to take it back. He's down to 80%. I'm going to take a look at him and see... Why can't I find T-Fun? There he is.
And what seems to be just a
He's
theme
fine.
in these drops. SJR has taken pretty spread damage. None of them really hurt. EMP, Coburn, Selith, and Aduvo have taken the brunt of it, while everybody else is basically pristine. Coburn and Aduvo, they were lights. Obviously, they're taking damage when they're stepping on the Theta. Selith down to 69%. He was a Timberwolf getting focused out on the cover.
Target acquired. Airstrike online. Airstrike.
Again, just laser light shows going back and forth. SJR realizes their positions weren't too great for the cover. They're pushing up with Magician Stalker. He's going to be able to ridge peek that middle pretty effectively. And...
Oh, he's crossing over, though. He's not going straight up to mid. Interesting.
Alright, so maybe they're... In that case, they're probably looking for, like, just a southern... Yeah, like, look at the rest of their force.
Keep watching that. I'm checking
there.
these guys. We've got a couple of Stormcrows down here, way down here, on the tail end of EMP's forces. And EMP, likewise, has got a couple of Stormcrows. Well, actually, one Stormcrow, one Timberwolf out there, too. Selith down to 64% in his Timberwolf. I think they might be trying to...
Well, again, let's go back to that analysis we had, where crossing left to right in that position on the side that EMP is, very hard with the open channels. SJR notices that they have those 4 or 5 guys on the northern/western, depending on what we're looking at, which map, side of that, and they're like, okay, we're going to take most of our guys down south, we're going to work them out a little, and we're going to bully those guys, because if you move to back them up, we'll punish you.
SJR finally decapped Theta, but they are now over just about 100 points down on cap. So they're going to have to make the move unless they want to actually grab Theta back, and it looks like their main force is moving left and getting ready to sort of push up here towards the center.
Yeah, what SJR is actually doing a pretty good job of movement here. What they've been doing, they've been shifting back and forth, looking for the angles, working it, not letting... Hopefully doing those moves in secrecy, so when EMP is getting prepared for a push, or to receive the push, they're just getting jockeyed back and forth. Like I said before, they were focusing south on the trades, now they shift all north, and they're gonna work on the other guys. Well, actually, like, if you look down here, the 2 Stormcrows you were mentioning earlier, they're still very far down. Cornite and Erodian, they have to be super careful.
Wow,
because
and
they are isolated and in really close proximity.
Yeah, geez, this is... man... I feel like they're just trying to get their attention or something. Draw the lights away, maybe. I think SJR might be doing the push here. I've seen this before, the bait and push. Yep, and sure enough, SJR are moving in with the Hellbringer and Timberwolf. Oh, not as aggressive as I would have thought. It's not a full push. Those Stormcrows bugging the hell out. EMP. Ooh, EMP's now gotten themselves in a corner. Now, if SJR pushes up aggressively, they'll have done the same thing that EMP did to them last round.
Yeah, so those Stormcrows, they have pretty good cover down here. That's what's allowing them to make these moves. All these buildings down here, they're not exposed to the high positions that were overwatching Theta. The concern, Aduvo is scouting them out with those Firestarters. He's backed up by the other 2 Firestarters.
They're putting pressure on him, but
have
the
to know.
Stormcrows are wisely sort of kiting it out.
In the midst of all of this, SJR has taken Theta. They've also gotten access to Kappa. So the Kappa
And they don't see the UAV above them, so EMP knows what they've been doing and knows where they are because that UAV is up. Unless there's just a bug.
Good eyes, Bill. I see that as well.
Alright, let's
Looking
take a
for
look
it in
at some
the
of these
sky, I can't
damage
notice it.
numbers. Erodian down to 52% in his Stormcrow, and that is really bad damage. He is Cord CT more than anything. Oh god, please give me the mouse picker back. Cornite in Stormcrow. Both side torsos are open up. I think he was one of the flanking group.
He was.
Uh-oh.
He went head to head with a direwolf in there. Does not end well if you're a medium.
South and Heimdallite, both the low
More caps
ones.
in favor SJR. 569 to only the 610 of EMP.
Oh wow,
This is
and
gonna
yeah, that's
ramp
going up quick.
Yeah, like that move that SJR did with the bait in the south and the shoving out of EMP.
It was just for the caps. Genius.
It was for the caps. Now look at the mini map right now. You see those lights going around for Epsilon from EMP. They got to get them back in the game. They're receiving imminent. He's pushing for Theta, and that's overwatched. They've got to be careful. Rhythm in the Direwolf is pushing around their side on the north, just trying to take peeks. But looks again like it's not a full push. It is not a full push. coming out of EMP,
and
but
that's
it's definitely
right
moving.
for strikes. Yeah, they're kind of trapped at the bottom of that ramp. Two
Imminent
down
and-
for EMP, none down for
Those
SJR.
Those two Stormcrows and the lights, they were trying to take Theta back. The mediums and lights for SJR were completely ready for it.
Oh, here comes a
you know how
counter
we're
push from
talking, like,
EMP. Heimdallite coming through. Selith coming through, trying to scramble the backfield so they can buy the rest of their mech some time to get in position here. 4 down for SJR. It's an almost even game. 5 down for EMP.
Only six down for EMP, though.
I am sorry, I'm in heat vision. I cannot get out of it, viewers. Okay, there we go.
Now, Rithen and Twinkie are pushing hard in these two Direwolves. They're the only chance they have of getting back in this game. The two double taps. It's 720 points, 2 caps apiece, and they have to mop up 6 kills in the next, 10 seconds. Literally 15 seconds on the timer in this match. This is
So,
done.
wow.
It's 2 lights and a Direwolf.
And
Theta's
sure enough,
being decapped by 1 light.
but
that is
it's going
not
to be
enough.
SJR on points right here with 3 mechs left standing.
4 mechs up, actually, and all of them are sub, 60%.
Yeah, and
they're
EMP had a
way
couple
up
of
the
fresh
hill.
fire starters, but I feel like they had to bail out just to try to take those caps. That was just a genius
I
move by
disagree.
SJR.
Okay, I agree with the ingenious move. I disagree with those lights capping if they knew how damaged SJR was.
Definitely, I don't think
All
they
of
should have
those-
done it. It was
those two
over. They
freshmen-
couldn't have decapped in time. No way.
No way in hell they decap in time, but those 2 lights may be enough for some sort of hero highlight reel, quadruple kill. But, I mean, heat of the moment? Do you realize, that... I mean, look at this. It's 750 on score. 9 minutes 59 seconds on time out of
Wow.
a 10-minute battle.
That's wow. Yeah, and I forgot that all of the rounds are 10 minutes in this league, and you see Twinkie just pulling a huge score, 7-13, 3 kills, 4 assists, but it just wasn't enough. SJR flipped it to be about the cap game, and they got a great position on EMP, did exactly what EMP did to them last game, and then it was just EMP left scrambling. They had an admirable counter push there. It was a really good effort, and they could have taken it maybe if those lights had got in, but I'm looking at the light scores, and they all had really low numbers, so I feel like they were almost not in the fight at that last point when they should have been. They might have been going for caps, but it was way too late by the time it was that close.
That was, that was stupendous, the movement.
That was a great round. For those of you that just watched, that is what competitive MechWarrior Online should be right there.
And I mean, there's what we see, and now all of you can see it. It's completely obvious with these spectator tools, I should hope. This map, it's fantastic. I'm blown
Again,
away.
sorry about the
You rated
temporary
it
heat
7 out of
vision
10.
fun, but
I know, but Thank you, PGI, for these. I've been waiting for this for like 2 years. Good God.
As have I. It's a huge step forward, and you know, if you guys would just bind a few of these controls to the controller, I will have a video and write-up coming on that because I really, really want that. But yeah, it's so much easier to see things. It is tanking my frame rate, but I can probably manage to turn down some settings to have a much, much, much improved interface. So yeah, no complaints here. And for anybody that's watching, now that it's after the match, be ready while Siri does this recap to type no pants and win some free mech bays. Let's do this. Should probably update the score, huh?
Just before we get into this, off the play in the like the first match was meh. It's JP team kills at Yuvo,
Yeah.
SJR seizes the advantage and just runs with it. No question there. The movement in the past 2 matches, I'd say worth this entire tournament. It's literally some of the highest level play I've seen. Completely happy with how it's turning out. But before we just gush overly about that, let's go into the actual movements on it.
Okay, map tap going up now. Get those penises off there and start drawing. New penises, of course. Apparently, according to all our viewers.
Phrasing.
Phrasing, that's what I'm going for.
Okay, well,
I knew you'd appreciate that one. Good. I'm glad. Anyways, I'm gonna give out mech bays. You try to compose yourself and do this recap here. Oh man, good
I'm
stuff.
so, as we discussed pre-match, SJR, not liking the North. They decided, hey, South is pretty good, South is pretty chill, let's take that. They set up kind of similar to how EMP did, but instead of doing, like, it was reminiscent of the moves that EMP made, but, and sort of the going out to the side, but the execution was pretty, like, the mode, you gotta take Theta. How to articulate this? Let's explain step by step what happened, and then maybe I'll find the words to
There are no words there.
make it all come together. So SJR, they didn't have a quick draw. They didn't have like that high mount peaker. So although they're in the same location, they're not doing that sort of high up peak the same way that EMP does, or did. Yeah, they put like 1 or 2 guys up there, I think, but they were mostly just down on the middle levels. And what they were doing, they're just doing left-right corner peaks down the 2 main alleys that we discussed, which are hard to cross over. The C3 corner and the C4 corner, bracketing the middle of the map. And Theta, like both teams, they pick up the 2 on their side. SJR gets it pretty easy. They have control of that whole side. EMP had to do some very smart timing, which, like, if you've ever commanded the Light Lance, look at how EMP got across into there safely, like checking the corners, communicating. They had the Storm Pro come with them just in case there were any lights lying in wait down in C2. And then they get the 1 guy on and they're completely safe. Just methodical, well thought out, well executed. But SJR, they have the South. First, they're pretty even on their spread. Then, as they notice that EMP is spreading out as well, what they do is they pull guys, like, there's a fight going on Theta. EMP is throwing their lights on, trying to take this back and forth. Trades are happening, but they're basically non-existent. The difference is that when they're not on top in the South here, SJR does not have the fire into Theta, the same firing lanes that EMP does from the north, or the west, if we're going by the in-game map. I'm tilting my head to figure that out.
Yeah, it's like that. Please, PGI, please make the map orientation.
Well,
same.
maybe just Smurf. I think that's actually how it is in game. Smurfy, I think, is the one who has it rotated. Just
Oh
saying.
man, that's lame.
Either way, one of you get your shit straight, or rotated.
Yeah, Smurfy, come on.
There's that whole fight going on. The lights diving on and off, peeking up the middle ramp, doing some jump jetting like pulse laser maneuvers. Good light play both sides. Neither of them really getting too messed up. T-Fun makes the clutch play that keeps SJR in this. He runs onto Theta, like the very south, or like this corner right here, just barely standing in the square, using this set of buildings to cut the angles from everything over here. Well, he has the firing to protect him from here, and the cap structure itself covering him from the guys over there. He finds that one spot where he's mostly safe. EMP, he's there for like 4 or 5 seconds. Like, I couldn't time it exactly, but on there enough that it's just almost uncapped. He's forced off by, I think it's like a Timberwolf jumping up to get the shot on him, so he bails, and it's like you can't even see the sliver. It's just the name still being red for EMP. Bides his time, gets the backup sniper fire, jumps on, decaps it, they back off, and there's this war that rages back and forth over Theta. SJR knows, though, that like this side for EMP has the better shots in. They rotated Mag down with the Stalker into this alley to back it up. And again, they don't do up-down peaks with it, they're doing left-right. And what they do is they shifted all the bulk of their force down one way, and then they focus across to get the isolations, while they still have control of the critical alley here for anybody coming back over. They have the Stormcrows rotated out to this complex, which, as we said, has pretty good cover. And they poke EMP's attention, get up on trades. They take Seleth down to that like 60%. And then they do something really ballsy, and they pull all of the big guys back around to D3. They leave the 2 Stormcrows as a pin, as like a poking them in the eye, being like, hey, keep your attention over here. You wanna worry about us. Come kill us. You can get us. It's gonna be like, come get the free kills. And SJR pushes up down the 3 line, seizes this half of the map, gets a quadruple cap, and bam, it's really close. Like, you saw even at the end there, 750 to 720, SJR was down on caps on the trades. Just a sick move. They get that map control, they get the brawl. We discussed at the end, I think EMP's lights were better off just getting in there and trying to knock him out instead of going for the caps, especially with the time on the clock. But
I definitely think that at the very
close.
least they could have decapped instead of going for the full cap, because I noticed when I was watching the replay, one of their lights was getting off, a full red point, when it's like, really, that needed to be a decap and out really quick, just to try to save it, if they were going to do that at all. It's a really hard decision to make, in the moment, because, you got to have 30 seconds ahead time to get that light where you need it. But really, SJR's little Stormcrow distraction, was great in that I think it totally took, not only did it bring EMP out of position a little bit, but it totally distracted them from the cap war, which, honestly, up until then, they'd pretty much been winning. And simultaneously, SJR just piled on all that pressure, and then they closed in the noose. It was really elegant execution, really great high-level play. But again, EMP with a great counter push. They did really well most of the time, did a great job camping on Theta. So definitely a great high-level match. That just makes me happy. Anything can happen from here on out. Good enough. Another set of mech bays went out. Congratulations. Let's see if I can even scroll back that far. My god, there's so many faces in this chat. Ketchup Panda, MWO Lucy Dog, I Kill Pigeons, and Dominov. Yes,
Bill,
Siri?
if you can turn your own mic gain down just a bit, I think will be better for the volumes, because apparently you're still pretty loud compared to me, so if you just turn yourself down, they can turn the whole stream up.
I will try to figure out how to do that. Okay, there's the volume. Viewers, I'd say let me know, but there's a 5-minute delay, and for those of you that don't know, we are on a 5-minute delay, so all the things that I'm telling you and all the things you're typing in chat, I don't see them until like 5 minutes later, so sorry, it's an imperfect thing. If we ever get delay built into the actual spectator, then it'll be something else, but for the foreseeable future, this is how it's gotta be.
So here's how it goes. SJR has taken both Conquest maps off some pretty good mobility plays. They lost the skirmish match off a no moving at all play, which was kind of uncharacteristic. Probably learned their lesson in that let's move around and like be agile feline jaguars instead of like friggin' tortoises.
Steel turtle.
EMP has claimed the same side. Important information, they are side 2 again. Same, so they could go with the same play they used in the last skirmish match.
Although, be aware, this is 600-ton skirmish. This is not 720, so this is going to be a much lighter drop deck, and frankly, I expect to see a couple of streaks here. Just a couple, maybe.
I had completely forgotten that these were different drop weights.
Yeah, this is a different tonnage.
We have
so
never seen
I don't
this.
think you're. I know, right? The QQ,
wait, no, have we seen this
QQ.
at
My
all in the
team,
tournament?
plug in here, is the only team that has given us more than 3 matches since we started going to best of 5. So shout out to QQ Mercs, we're awesome. But yeah, now shout out to both these teams for taking us to Game 4. We get to see the 600-ton drop, not something that we've seen a ton of, and honestly, because of that, I don't know how it's going to play, but I do expect a lot of Stormcrows, Firestarters, and streaks. Maybe we'll even see the Adder, Kit Fox kind of plays with streaks on them too. So this could be a real
direwolf one-shotting everything.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Hashtag Twinkies spirit animal. Or, anyways,
I want Twinkies chairs so bad.
we haven't seen this. And again, one production note: do we have scores that you can put up for latecomers? If not, if you're just tuning in right now, the score is 2-1 SJR. They took the first and third matches on Conquest, 3-all. EMP took the 700-ton skirmish, and the 600-ton skirmish, match 4, is being launched right now.
Right now. Oh yeah!
And yes, this is match point. It's a best of 5. EMP has to win this. Not to stay in the tournament. If EMP loses this, there's going to be another just grand finale coming up.
I know, I'm kind of sorry about that a little bit, viewers, but there's no other way to do it in a double elimination tournament and have it be fair, so I know it's kind of anticlimactic to say this may be the final match. Whatever, man. This is the final series, and there will be another final series if it doesn't pan out.
This is match point. It's not tournament pointed, but it is match point. Alright, so 600 tons. The EMP side, side 2, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 5-star 9S's. 4 Stormcrows, a Nova. That's interesting. That could be a ERPPC jumper. I doubt it. 2 Hellbringers, and Seleth is reprising that quick draw 5k.
On SJR, we've got a ton of Stormcrows, 4 Firestarters,
5, 6,
and a couple of Hellbringers.
I am going to jump into, let's see here. It is Erodian. That is not a Streak Stormcrow.
Yeah, what are they running? Go ahead and do the loadouts. I'm just looking at team positions. It looks like both teams are now totally grouping up. They're all balling up on this high side of the map now. We're going to have a big trade around this corner, perhaps. I wonder if a team is going to blink and make the move. SJ are really stacked up at this corner. I think that they're pushing. They're not waiting. They're just going.
There is one streak match in this match, and that's only Rick Rom.
Wow.
Everything else is Gauss Vomit. But yeah, SJR is pushing. Glory is eating the Focus Fire coming out at the start. They're pushing around the low side here. EMP arguably has the better concave, but again, they're split. So, and SJR is down.
SJR's got to keep moving. They
ground.
cannot stop in low ground here.
They cannot
but
bog down.
They are pushing EMP out of their preferred position here. Looks like that Nova is mediums. Interesting. Nice strike, though.
That's a brutal strike.
Nice strike.
At this point, it's not about the positioning. It's just when you're doing a death
time
ball
delay's
push
going to
this,
get caught.
It's all gunnery. It's all going. Do not get caught up.
And
oh my god, these strikes are brutal.
Oh wow, one down per side, but honestly, a couple of EMP players are now caught out here. Fission's going to go down that Nova real quick if they can't turn around. Nice strike to keep them from peeking that corner.
There are these light fights going off on the side. With SJR's lights, they're getting caught out. T-Fun and Legal, so they're the ones going down. Whereas this wrecking ball of mediums and heavies is just rolling through.
Oh man, and SJR is just going for it. They are not letting off. Wow, what a push. Strikes keep going in. This is just brutal. This is a real hairball. 3 down for EMP, 2 down for SJR.
Just hop in the first person on like Carnage and G-Man and give him that view, because that's all that matters in this. Oh, Strike takes down Grey Fox and Firestar 9S being struck off the back. 5-5. Just, oh my god. Tightest brawl ever.
It's crazy. I'm in
6-5,
on Coburn
SJR
right now.
favor.
Flanking SJR. He's totally in a fresh fire starter right now. We'll see.
And
I'm
he's the
surprised the
X-Factor if he
lack
can
of
get some back
streaks.
shots. 7-7. All the lights up for EMP. 8-7. That's the deciding factor in this.
Yeah,
The
and I
light
think it
lands
is
for
going to go
SJR
to
being
EMP
caught out.
because of the lights.
Just Magician Pie Maker goes down for Brosian. Those lights still up. They're just so hard to focus fire and split at the end. That's SJR's downfall. Also, that line they took, like on my stream, I'm going to go over and look at it. It's just down here in the low ground. You don't have the choice shots. I'm wondering if they would be better off shoving this mid road or up on the high side, where they eventually got to. But
I
they
definitely
got
think that they
split from
funneled
their lights.
themselves a little bit there, and the lights, not having those lights there at the end just makes a huge difference. That's what lights are for, is clean up at the end.
Yeah,
So
I
this
wanna see
game
the
is
stats
going
on
to
this. That
5.
is-
Yes, that's just what I wanted.
Yeah, Firestarter 9S, T-Fun 90, 47 damage, Legal Department, Firestarter 86 damage. The only one who had significant amounts was for Brosian, 370. That's actually ridiculous amounts. He would have been able to get up high. The rest of SJR's lights, they kind of push down the low side left. The risk with these early scouts, just how uninformed you can be going into it, and how one like split decision, let's go down to the right, get away from some fire. Well, now we gotta push back up and they're free to focus our lights, and that's our lance gone. But look at EMP's light lines. All 4 of them in that Charlie lance. Lowest damage, 251 a Duvo. Next
Yeah,
up,
and no one
200
on their
Aurora,
entire team under
320
200.
Coburn. Twinkie, he had that, he was off to the side in behind the push. He drops an airstrike at the back, rolls over the main of them. 457, like easy 100 damage, 150 damage strike there, on top of just perfectly optimal range gunnery. Those lights chewed him up. Losing that lance, catastrophic for your hopes on that. But game 5, is this 3-all again, Bill? Is it the same thing?
Yeah, Conquest 3-3-3-3 for the final match, so see how this goes. But man, what a tight set of games. This is exactly what we wanted to see in the final. We'll see what side they end up picking, but boy, what a great game. You know, initially it looked like SJR might have the advantage there. They did a good push. I didn't like the approach they took. I think that at the very least, a lot of them should have taken a higher approach, and maybe only a couple of guys go around, but you know, they pushed EMP off. They got a couple of EMP separated, and then I don't know because I actually should probably watch the replay so I can see what their hells were at that point, because you know, it might have been a better idea just to sort of stick there since they were up a mech, but I don't know. That's a tough call. They had a lot of momentum.
They
Losing those lights was just devastating.
They can't
you know?
stick. Yeah, it's that loss of the light lance is the game. Even if you can, unless they had taken the shorter route, which they didn't, their push got looped out all the way around, and like it picks up Heimdallite, but at the same time, you're doing like a 9-on-2. The enemy is doing an 8-on-4. They get the 4 kills. Math is hard. And like the jump jets again, like the Stormcrows don't have the jump jets. They can't take those high positions. I think that's what the Nova was for, just saving that 5 tons.
And
as
check
well
out the
as being
stream.
high positions.
Check out either of the streams right now. I'm talking to Siri,
They
of course, not
push
the
low.
viewers. Yeah, I mean, they push low, but I'm trying to see what happened with like health percentages and some of the other finer points of this engagement. Looks like EMP really kind of bailed out pretty quick there.
Okay, right here, I see why they push low. They put the big building in the way from the snipers up high, which allows them to get the temporary overmatch on the guys on the right-hand side of EMP. But those guys on the right were quick on the ball to step up and get back
And you
to the
see
main
that strike.
and
Wow,
keep
that
that
strike
cover.
was just devastating. I'll bet that strike alone did about 250 or 300 damage there. That was absolutely brutal. Somebody timed that
There were
perfect.
a series of 3 or 4 strikes that EMP dropped on that death ball, and because they took the long route, that's massive levels of attrition.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
and
just watching it, and right here the light lance goes down. SJR rather EMP has managed to rally back towards Theta. They've gotten all their guys together. And now it's Deathball versus Deathball. One side has lights, which are mobile, fast, jumping. They can get up high, hit those angles, and hard to take down unless you have overwhelming firepower on them. Then SJR's momentum is played out. It dies right there. So
Yeah, pretty rough when you don't have those lights to clean up at the end. I think that SJR's lights were just a little too aggressive, little too heavy on the distract and not saving themselves for later, but that's how it goes. It was pretty damn close regardless. Man.
yeah, like your first person view is in Coburn right now, and just watch him play, or just watching him play explains exactly why those lights at the end win the game. This is reminiscent to me of just scenarios that in my time we were in when we were playing Lords. A lot of the time, like, Lords would keep like 2, maybe even 3 of their lights alive to the end. Well, ours had just been taken down by some crack shots from like that Gauss PPC meta, and it would tip fights. And I mean, plenty of times going the other way too, like our light lance would stay up and it just seals it. The numbers, as the match gets closer and closer, the numbers might be the same. The one with more lights typically wins when it's a furball like this.
Yeah, at the end it's pretty rough. I think we're in the right lobby right now because I see SJR still in here. I don't know.
Yeah, they swapped the side too. They're gonna fill it up. They're gonna invite EMP in. So,
But definitely setting up a climactic final match. I am excited to see how this one goes. Conquest, in my opinion, always a little bit more interesting because you have that cap factor where, like you saw SJR do last time, just really use it to their advantage. Really brilliant way to use the game mode to their advantage. And that's what I like to see. I don't like to see people just, I don't know. A lot of people are like, just, you know, the back cap, it's lame. But, you know, in competitive play, when these teams care about winning and it's not just a pug mess and you can actually go defend your base properly and all that, some of these game modes really make it interesting. Also, props to PGI for putting back in original assault mode. Siri, I know you helped with the push on that one. Thank you, because wow, we needed that. Like, what the hell?
I did. I had a bit of a campaign to get that back in. I'm happy it is, even if I'm not playing. But like Aduvo, I know has the like, oh my god, I'm so happy with you right now. And I'm like, that's nice. Stop getting team killed. But
Them's fighting words right there.
The reason why normal assault was good, if you like that second and third match where the teams were moving around and the team that got map control reduced the enemy down to like a quarter of the map and just worked them out brutally and won, that win condition is pivotal to assault mode. If you play it in pub matches, yeah, it's kind of like go here, go there, back cap. Oh my god, we gotta defend it. In the old assault mode, it was oftentimes you gotta scout the midline, you gotta contest the midline, and if you can get that, like again, that 3/4 or the 7/8 or the 9/10 pinch on them, you win. Barring like 1 or 2 maps that had absolutely terrible cap locations, which were completely turtleable. Like I think like northeast side of Tourmaline Desert was completely ridiculous with how well you could turtle at, but that aside, on most maps it played pretty damn well, and it didn't reward turtling. So
Definitely. It's good stuff. Glad to see it back in the rotation. Excited to see some other leagues running this again. And is MRBC over now?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll be right back.
But if anybody hasn't checked out MRBC, go check out some of those matches. Army One's been doing a lot of casting on those lately. Shout out to him, by the way, for helping me cast so much of this crap, especially, you know, past like week 5 or 6 when he was set up to do it. And, really appreciate that. Might as well do some shout outs to random people who helped with this tournament. Again, you know, of course, Heim Delight deserves a lot of the credit here because he made this tournament, got the website, got the forums, got all that stuff set up, and, you know, besides the changes that I've had to make to the league format to, you know, accommodate various things and all of the random administrative crap I have done. He does deserve a very large portion of the credit for this. So thank you, Heimdallite, for setting this tournament up. This was a lot of fun to cast and participate in, hopefully for the teams that did. And you know what? Let's go to MajorLeagueMechWarrior.com and figure out who I'm giving
For everybody, if
shout
you're
out to.
watching, this is for you.
Ooh, that's hot, Siri. Now I feel like I need to do a strip show here. I'm burning up. But, okay, let's see. Shoutouts to, you know, of course, like I said, Tina. Tina's the best community manager ever. After the last two were somewhat adversarial, somewhat just unresponsive. It's just a
Let's not go
huge
there.
change. Yeah, whatever. Let's not go there.
If we ever
had-
wish to be sponsored officially again, let's not go there.
whatever. But all I can say is Tina has done a great job, so much more responsive, both on all the community feedback and just helping me run this tournament, advertise, do all that crap. PGI for donating the prizes and advertising. Snaffits, of course, again, for the awesome bracket layout on the Major League Mech Warrior website. And, of course, if you don't know about Snaffit's quirk page, Snaffits, just look for Snaffit's quirks, or it's in Outreach Resources, something like that. He's got an awesome page with all of those. Thank you to anyone who has bothered to cast a match. That even includes Siri, though I'm hesitant to thank him, but, you know, thank you too, Siri. You did a good job. And, Gerhard, yeah, that's right. He made our logo, so that's awesome. And people that donated, there were a ton of people that donated, but among them are Zyga 1, the Direwolves Alpha Regiment, Litherum, QQ Mercs, Toadflakes, and the rest chose to remain anonymous. But thank you all. It's been a pleasure. And, you know, again, Farp Noodle, thank you for this awesome casting interface. He's apparently still working on it, working on a couple of the bugs that I introduced. So, good stuff. And again, if anyone wants to cast or whatever, I should probably get you the, I don't know, just find it on Outreach, find my YouTube channel or something like that. There will be a video on how to get this overlay set up. Only takes about 10 minutes. It's good stuff. Anybody can cast now. So, come on, step up to the plate. Let's do this. It's a lot of fun.
Just start shitposting on Outreach. Bill will be right with you pretty
Exactly. I'll be with you in just a second.
I'd also just like to mention that this shirt.
Ooh. Oh, yes. Isn't that
If
the
you've
first
never seen it
engagement
before,
shirt?
This is the first engagement shirt that SJR and Lords each got for making to the finals of that tournament. So,
And, of course, Lord's mostly a former reincarnation of EmpyreaL. Like, most of those players are gone. It's
I
not
disagree.
entirely,
They're not. They're the same. They're the same circle of friends. But if you look, like, a third to maybe like 5 of them are Lords. Were Lord's main team. Like the other 7 are sourced from everywhere, or even. Yeah.
Whatever. I will say that it's like ex-Lords plus random people from a bunch of different teams. Whatever. I always think of them as, you know, the core of the Lords group, but that's just me.
I also as SWK Reloaded.
You know, that is a very demeaning way to think of that. So you can just go for that. Oh yeah, might as well announce it for the people who weren't here before we started. The team prizes: the award for killing the most mechs on a loss in the first week goes to Stratagame Mercenary Corporation and affiliates. Congratulations, guys! They won it by a rather large margin, took it to 3, and really put down a lot of Marine mechs. We are launching into the match. I'm going to figure this out quick.
We are into the match.
Whatever.
Ladies
It's
and
loading.
gentlemen, match 5 of this best of 5 for, well, half of the marbles in SJR's case, and all of the marbles in EMP's case, and all of the moolah as well. This is it. Match point. Doesn't get closer than this. 3-all conquest mode.
Yep, if SJR wins here, they live to fight another series next week to claim the title. Otherwise, EMP wins it right here, right now.
Looks like both teams are running the exact same loadouts they brought to the other conquest drops. SJR is side 2, which they had in the first drop, but not in the third. And EMP is starting out on the west side in blue. SJR is the red team, in case you haven't caught on. EMP is moving down to the west side of the map, the Gamma Epsilon side. They're going to pick those up quickly. SJR is doing what EMP did last time with a little bit of a twist.
EMP is not really going for Epsilon right off the bat. I mean, I guess one light's going to go over there, but it looks like they're mostly scouting at this point, so they're taking the cap slow. They do.
They have all the time in the world to take that. They've already taken cap on the side, whereas SJR still only has Sigma. They're just going to probe this out, make sure they're grouped, because their lances were split, so they want to group it up before they move down this. And that's totally fair.
Yep, T-Fun just posting up here right now just to keep a tab on EMP's main force.
Febrosian in the south, kind of like dancing around this square. Bit of an exposed position. Hope he may get caught out. He'll make the safety in time. T-Fun is the one in risk, because Febrosian is already drawing eyes towards that angle, and he's gonna make that run in a second. But he should be able to find some smart angles to get out of there, I think. But
T-Fun making a risky pass here.
Yeah, he's got to run through Theta, and that's going to be rough with Heim right there. But again, like in the third match, we were talking about how the south side has poor angles to shoot into Theta. T-Fun's showing how to take advantage of that. Febrosian's joining him on there just to get that cap a little bit quicker. They have it ticked over, not by much. They are out. It is actually 2-2 in terms of caps. Light down to 83%, T-Fun down to 83% for SJR. The only major damage per side.
And so EMP on the side that they
EMP
were...
favor, but it's gonna turn back quick, because if you look at the map, SJR is gonna take Kappa, which was on their side. They have Theta. They have those better shots onto Theta, and it's gonna take some fancy footwork for EMP to take that back.
But they're going to do it. Here go the fire starters moving up now, all three of them.
Did SJR see it? Are they prepped?
They know they're there, but I don't know if they can do anything about it. They can't. They still don't really have good angles. And
they can shoot the legs.
They're going to get full cap too. Not quite full. Oh, Adi's just staying on it. He's got a good angle where he can just sit here and work the side.
Yeah, that's exactly where T-Fun was last time.
EMP.
No strikes went down on that. That's surprising. You would figure that they would try and defensively strike that point, maybe get a head strike and just end it, but nothing really. Again, looking back, Direwolf Gummin for SJR's side. He's getting focused. He's down 69%, taking more chip damage. Can you take a quick look at how damaged he is?
In right now, left torso almost gone. It's basically one hit, and he's lost his Gauss because of it. So
ooh, that's rough.
That's not good. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not where he wants to be either. So let's take a look at EMP's side and check out the damage. Heimdallite, 76%, right torso, so that's not good, but not too bad either.
T-Fun is getting aggressive in this middle here, just trying to seismic exactly like where things are if he has any angle that he can use. It's dangerous. He knows that none of EMP are over here in the northern half of it, and if they do, he's covered by his Stormcrows, Erodian, and Cornite, who are again working as a team just off on the flank. Damage is not entirely one-sided. Definitely EMP's favor, but Heimdallite and Selith are the ones who have gotten weak.
Yeah, and Selith cord CT front and rear in that Timberwolf, so he's not doing great, but he does have the ER large poke, so he's just going to sit back there. Heimdallite's the one that might lose his weapons.
Yeah, however, that being said, it is still probably about 150 to 200 points of damage in favor of EMP. SJR is trying to get a bit of northern poke going here. They successfully get T-Fun back out, covered by those Stormcrows, and it looks like they're going to swing those guys back around the south. Ooh, rough strike hits Erodian here.
Ooh, Heimdallite down to 42%. He is basically famous for being super aggressive at the beginning of the match and then managing to not die and then staying alive.
Ooh, Aurora here on the left. He peeks around into 3 fire starters.
Ooh.
Not a lot of
damage. Is he
going to
make it?
It's kind of a trap. They're
backed covering
up by
him
Stormcrows
out.
and Timbers.
JP moving across in the
south
Direwolf.
side.
EMP is moving, and they are moving hard. In the meantime, SGR taking the top. They're capping. I don't know if they should be wasting Stormcrows on capping. They really need to be shooting that Direwolf out in the open.
They're just crossing.
And sure enough, he does.
It's not a full cap.
Ooh, Cornite down in that Stormcrow. First one to go down for SJR. peeked in the wrong
Rick
place.
Ramenheim are working the left angle here while everybody else is focused on the mid. Seleth is still up top. He's just going to shoot down onto these guys on Theta. It's a really... Ooh, actually, SJR is ahead of kills. It's 2-1, 3-1 in their favor. But position, there are some EMP guys in really strong locations up high there that are going to be tough to dig out. But they're sending the lights around to dig those positions out while they just focus on getting all of these guys caught in the low ground. 4 down EMP, 3 down SJR. Do they have enough here? Can they pull it back for this match? They have 4 minutes on the clock. 230 points to go for EMP to take this with 2 caps up. 6 guys left. Very damaged for EMP.
And Proton's out of the fight, basically just shooting at T-Fun light.
I think SJR can do it from this location.
We're working him slowly. Twinkie's still up in half of that dire wolf, but taking some damage there. He's really pinned down. Eminent doing all right in the Stormcrow.
Ooh, Proton legs T-Fun.
Ooh,
and kills him.
Oh man,
yeah, that was a
Proton...
huge pickup. But now he's got Fabrosian on him. The thing here is that Shope, or Proton rather, is one of the healthiest guys they have. He's isolated out of this fight while the rest of his guys are being worked on. That was a huge pickup that maybe kept him in this game, taking out T-Fun. But Fabrosian is on him again, and he's just going to harry him. Magician is coming over there, also helping.
Twinkie's one shot here, and they pick him up. So now it's just 2 left for EMP. It looks like this is going SJR's way.
Magician rounds the corner on Proton. Fabrosian is not legged, just double teaming it. Last guy, Schopenhauer in the Stormcrow against 6 guys with 3 minutes on the clock and 150 points. Run Schopenhauer. Well, not even that because it's now.
Yeah, there's not even that. There's really. Unfortunately, yeah, but that was close down to the end there. SJR doing a great job of taking advantage of EMP moving into the open, and sure enough, SJR takes the the first of 2 final series now. Next week, tune in next week for the real final.
This is ridiculous.
Oh man, what a great set of matches. Yes, thank you both teams for being awesome and making this a great one for viewers. Great damage numbers across the board. Look at that.
EMP was up so much on damage.
When they crossed in the open, it all turned around. I think that their decision to try to protect that light was just... I don't know, man.
This is going to get me some flack. I have a hard time, though, calling this anything... If there was something that I missed, something that makes sense from EMP, please tell me after this. But from my perspective in here, from what I saw, it is kind of hard to call that anything but a throw. And we'll get into this on the map, but my justification for that is looking at those percentages, which again, you don't really know in-game exactly how hurt the other guy is. When you're doing these fast trades, you don't get target acquisition, especially when they have the... what's it called? Target deprivation. And when there's like ECM on the Hellbringers denying you that info in the first place. But they were up. It is like a...
I'm watching on the stream replay now. We gotta see this again.
200 to 300 damage easy. And maybe they don't know that. But they also have the points. They managed to take that center point full caps. And SJR had not yet come up with an answer. The only thing I can think of, like what triggered that push, was seeing those Stormcrows doing exactly what they did. Well, not exactly, but like the same sort of role that SJR really likes. Like off on the side, hey guys, we're not a death ball. We're 2 guys over here. We're isolated. Push us. And EMP obliged them. The thing was, those Stormcrows at that time had already pulled back to the middle. They're fast enough, like 106, isn't it?
I think
Stormcrows
so.
Are 106. They're like ridiculously nimble, mobile, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. We're about to see where kills start happening and stuff starts getting real there, but I do agree that EMP was up on trades, and that move into the open. All right, here it comes. They move to defend the light. They think they're going to collapse on these guys, but those direwolves especially just kind of got caught out there.
Yeah, like begs the question, did EMP not know those direwolves were still in the south? Because they basically walked into a crossfire on those direwolves, and those direwolves didn't even have to move. Meanwhile, their direwolves push down low and are way too goddamn
To
slow
be
get
fair,
out there
with
anytime.
Heimdallite and Proton and Selith or whatever sitting up on that Overwatch position over Theta, I think they were thinking that they were going to do the crossfire. Unfortunately, enough of SGR's mechs held back, and it was only a couple at Theta that they could really take advantage. Cornite got nailed early on there, and they picked that up, but as they moved across, it was just they just took too much damage.
Do you want me to draw this on the map tactic?
You know what? Yeah, we might as well. While you do that, I'm gonna give out the last mech bays, and actually, before I do that, before viewers start leaving us, I should probably do the announcements on team prizes. Again, the Going Down Swinging award for killing the most enemy mechs in a first week match while losing goes to Stratagame, Mercenary, Corporation, and Affiliates. You guys did a great job, took it to 3, and had some really close matches with Marine mechs. Good set of matches. The early elimination prize, which is awarded randomly to one of the first 8 teams eliminated, goes to New Texas Mercenaries. The paint, of course, goes to Eisengrim, because who else makes lore videos where you're doing a call to war or whatever and have their paint job and everything? It's great. Love their spirit. And the sportsmanship goes to Marine Mechs. A lot of people enjoyed playing them, and I really enjoyed watching them develop as a team. That was good job to all of them. And team captains, get ready. I will be emailing you a ton of 2000 MC codes that you are to distribute between the people on your roster. Please don't just suck them all up and make me hate you. So, yeah, congratulations to all those teams. And now I'm going to go ahead and switch over to map tactics so Siri can school you.
Yeah, I watched through that last bit of stream to see if there's anything I could pick up on, what keyed that push, what was the objective on it, and I'm still not quite seeing
I still think they were trying to put SJR in a crossfire where, they saw SJR moving up to mid, they kept a couple of guys on back, and then they thought it could work, but I don't think enough SJR guys pushed up was the problem. SJR wasn't where they thought they were, maybe. They just had too many mechs behind the silos or whatever.
Well, I'll draw what I saw and I think keyed it, but again, if there's something I'm missing, let me know, and I'm sure they will, because, whew, boy, all right.
And you know what? Actually, viewers, I'm going to give away only one more mech bay, and it's going to be trivia, because now I only have 4 mech bays to give away next week for the finals, which was totally an inevitability. Hopefully PGI will supply more, but no guarantees on that. So,
all right, so EMP has the south, like we've discussed before. They got this middle point. SJR, they played the north. They played it biased to this B4 quadrant, which is how EMP played it against them. EMP's movement... Actually, now that I think about it, I think EMP was trying to replicate what SJR did to them in match 3. They just picked the wrong side. And, yeah. But here's the triggers for it. EMP takes control of Theta. There's a skirmish going over this for a good 2 minutes, but EMP handily wins it with the support from up top and with the crossfires down the B lane, or rather the 4 lane that was keeping SJR back. So they get 3 lights on, and unlike the previous game where they only got a little bit on it, they actually managed to full cap this. So SJR tries to go in, tries to see if they can work it down. Not happening. Just not happening at all. T-Fun tries to probe it out with Seismic, probably a UAV. Really risky position. Really well played getting out of there. Really well supported getting out of there. What he had was SJR had 2 Stormcrows kind of raging out to here. They had the other lights backing them up here. And they had their Direwolves just stuck back in here with most of their heavies. So the heavy forces over here, their mediums and lights are ranging out to the west side. And they extricate T-Fun. Now, right about this point is when EMP, like, it's possible there's cross comms chatter or something, like, hey, they've got guys in the 2 line. Okay, let's push these guys. They're isolated. And they push up in here. But at the exact same time, Mag, in his Stalker, had moved up. He had taken the middle ramp. All of these Stormcrows, they had done their job. They had ranged out to the side. They had gotten T-Fun out. Okay, we're pulling back. They moved in and they joined up on the mid. So the instant EMP makes this push, despite, as like we were saying, 300 to probably 300-ish damage ahead, all of SJR is really battered. Don't know if they know that. Instantaneous crossfire. SJR sees this. They're like, oh, we're not gonna push around here. We're gonna go up onto Theta. And even though they've left like 2 guys just up here, brutally sniping down, we got this handled. What they did is they sent two, I think just 2 lights each, up at those guys on the high position, and you can't ignore that. So they neutralize the strong position there. Proton eventually beats T-Fun, but by that point, you've got the Direwolves and the other heavies sniping down from up here in C4. You've got the mediums and the lights running rampant over here, and you're on the low ground. It's done. And off that, SJR wins like 6 or 12-6 in this best of 5.
Hey,
taking
wake
the
up.
match 3-2.
So that was a great set of games. I mean, the first game with Adi just getting the unlucky death, that always sucks. But the rest of these games, real quality matches. You know, EMP totally schooling it on how to box somebody in, get them in a bad position, and then just turn it into a shooting gallery. You know, great comeback from SJR in the next round, doing basically the same thing but on Conquest, you know, and winning it on Caps. I totally would not have expected that at all. Great play. You know, EMP coming back in the third one. It was just a great close set of games there. I was really happy with that. So let me look at the agenda and see what I still need to do. Yeah, I've pretty much shout-outed everybody. I've given all the mech bays we're going to give away. I've talked about the casting overlay. I've done all the things. Siri, do you have anybody to shout out to or anything else?
I was going to ask, did you want to get I don't know if Mag's still around. Do you want to get him in here and talk about the matches?
You know, can we do that?
I don't know, like interview with the winner of the match?
Let's make this happen.
Let me see if I can grab him.
Wow. Thinking about it like a real sportscast. Wow. Crazy stuff. Well, Mag is here.
User was moved to your channel.
I poked him. We'll see what happens. So, stand by. We may be interviewing Magician. Otherwise, I'll just pick a player off my friends list. We'll interview them about the match instead. Not necessarily one that played in the match, just somebody. Also, totally forgot to do this earlier. Shout out to Techno Panda. Thank you for hosting our channel. You rock. Oh, Mag, you're here. Do you want to talk about the what went on there?
Sure. What drop?
Well, I guess what happened in that second drop where you guys sort of got cornered into a bad position there? What went on there?
Well, we got cornered into a bad position. Yeah, I mean, our idea was just to play really defensively. Not so much because of the draw situation, but we saw the idea large and figured, okay, poking's not going to work. We'd have to be aggressive to close that distance against them. So a draw would play into our favor. But in the end, we gave up too much space. We should have at least controlled the theta ground or something like that so that they did not have all the open ground be pushing around wherever they wanted to. We know better than that.
And was that like the thought going into the third match? Where you almost turned it around on them?
Right?
Yeah, that was the one where you sort of boxed them in and won on Caps because they got distracted by those 2 Stormcrows down south.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was... See, I don't know what happened on their side, like with that, but that was a really tough and intense match. We had a strat initially about going E line, and then the way they set up, we couldn't just sit there, and caps was becoming a problem. So then I pushed forward with my stalker towards Theta, and then we started playing those caps, but then they left open. We were going to push C3 for a fight, but they left that entire left side open, so at that point we knew we could 4-cap, and once we 4-capped, we just thought, okay, it's going to bleed, so we'll play defensively again, but not as defensive as the second drop. We were making sure that we were actually controlling the ground, so as soon as they would come through, we'd be able to hit them, and it ended up being a super close match.
No,
That was a real nail biter. 3 mechs standing to 4 mechs standing, and it might have been totally different if they'd gotten their fire starters in the mix instead of going to cap with them, but it's a tough call.
Yeah, well, like one of our direwolves had a medium laser. I think I was way open CT. Their direwolf was open CT. And then I think we had, I don't know what the other status was, but yeah, it was super close.
You guys did a lot of like north-south movement during that match, just moving everybody down the one angle, everybody back to the north. And with that and the Stormcrows in the south, it looked like they just didn't see the push coming and they had overreacted. Was that intentional with the Stormcrow poke, or just fortuitous?
I would say fortuitous because I didn't even know they were over there until after the match for the most
You mean
part.
you
I
didn't
would've
know
figured they
your
were lights based on
Stormcrows
the
were
spot.
over there?
No, I mean, based on my minimap, I saw their lights. I mean, they were talking, doing what they were going to do. I think it's because they were already on that right side. So when the call was made, like, it's not 3 minutes or something, we had to push up, and I was just going to try to take Theta, but then I decided to push up that C line entirely. Not C line, but the 3 line. And at that point, I didn't really even realize that was going on, but it definitely
Yeah, when you
helped.
watch the replays, you'll see the minute they see those 2 Stormcrows, they gave up half the map. They all went over and turtled in that one corner and sort of all got looking at that, and it was whatever it was, it worked phenomenally. But what about match 4, where it was the Stormcrow Deathball push? That was aggressive.
Yeah, it was an aggressive move. I decided basically that I didn't want to turtle at all. It's too light to turtle anyhow. And I just wanted to play a really aggressive game, so we went Mead Gauss almost entirely, except for the 4 lights. We planned to play super aggressive. Unfortunately, I think I miscounted their mech's positions because we pushed a little bit too far right. We gave them a little bit too much time. And then in that final push that we pushed down that goes back towards that open area, we didn't actually end up needing to do that. I thought we did at the time, but based on their streaks, based on our mech position and our loadouts, we could have actually turned that into just a normal fight and probably we've done better than it turned out. But it was an interesting match, at least. Different style. I mean, I was like throwing at least a different style every once in a while.
Yeah, it was a hell of a fight to watch. I think one of the things that really hurt about going right was just one of them timed a perfect strike on the main death ball, and I think like 6 of your guys got hit with 1 strike. Probably alone did like 300 damage. It was somebody should get 500
like
MC for
3
that
strikes like that.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, watching the cast I saw a few times, and those strikes definitely did some damage. I don't think that's what cost us, though. I actually think, I mean, it hurt us, but I think what cost us was my call to make a final push down there. I think somebody had mentioned just holding up, and I was like, no, we got to push. And it's just in my head that, okay, we're pushing, let's continue pushing. But we also kind of held up a few times earlier, like people were holding up a little bit to take shots, and it slowed us down because, what person in front of you stops, you kind of stop too. So, but yeah, I mean, EMP played that really well.
Hey, wake
they
up.
they were not, I guess, I was going to push down because I figured they'd be on the back foot. I figured they were scattering, trying to fall back, and that's a good time to push. But they actually did a really good job of falling back and then creating a new line. And yeah, so they did that really well, and that's pretty much what gave them the win on that one.
And then you guys brought it home in a very solid Game 5. Now, this is not the final match. You guys have another one sometime soon, right?
Yeah, so the next one will be on Tourmaline.
How are you feeling about that? Do you have anything you want to say to EMP about today, about the next matches coming up?
Yeah,
Say
come on,
that
man,
now.
talk shit. Let's do this.
I'm not gonna talk trash or anything like that. No, I just think Tourmaline's it's a crazy map for Conquest because of how far some of the caps are, right? The end caps are so far away from the rest of the fight that if you try to play, if you don't prepare for the possibility of a Conquest game or play poorly, it's possible that you could lose the caps just trying to catch up there. So I don't know. We played Conquest a few times in there, and made Merrick. I don't remember the last time we played it though. So I mean, these mechs are completely different, all these clan mechs. So I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. You know, we're gonna have to work and figure out what we're gonna do.
Another question with that is, do you think that the reworked collision maps are going to have like any effect because you guys have been shooting around the invisible stuff for so long?
That's a good question. You know, I haven't had too many games on there to test it to see how much it changes. So I'm not sure, but maybe our natural inclinations and some of the setups might be bad, but most of that spots where that's happening isn't a spot where you want to hang out that long anyhow, I don't think. I'm hoping that the collisions are better on Inspires, though. I don't know if you guys have tested it out, but I'm hoping that people are up on top of the crystals that you can actually hit them when they can hit you. So
I am thinking that they probably did, because it looks like one of the tests was like shooting a laser through a couple of crossing crystals where normally it would hit either one, but it went all the way through. So I haven't tested it, but personally hoping that does make a big difference there.
Yeah, I hope it.
Yeah,
I hope it will too. I mean, I like that map a lot. It's an pretty old school map. So I was really happy that they fixed that stuff because of that. You know, there's spots now that you can shoot people when they're crossing the open, or if they're trying to just hide somewhere. Maybe even missiles, you know, in open games and stuff like that will actually be able to hit you when you're trying to hide behind these things. So, but I just haven't played that map enough since the patch to really test it.
That works. Well, so how do you guys feel overall? Feel that you did as well as you could have for the most part, or gonna pick it up for next week, or?
Hey, wake up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're really happy about winning. I mean, we knew it was gonna be a super hard match coming in. You know, 12s and stuff is totally different from what we're used to playing. You know, for the most part with MRBC and such. Which what you know we've been spending most of our time in, and it's been a few breaks here of action, but happy to have everyone who showed up show up. I mean, we had a really good turnout tonight, which is always a positive thing. So
yeah, definitely like 250 people watching the stream. So it was a great set of games. So well, thanks Mag for talking to us. Much appreciated. Always good to get a player's perspective, especially a team captain.
Yeah, thanks for casting.
Anytime. Well, viewers, I guess we should probably wrap this up now. I'd say final shoutouts, but I've done so many shoutouts during this cast that I'm shout-outed out. And Siri.
I've already given my shoutouts to Tribird, Eagle Falconhawk.
Where is that guy?
Wherever you
Is
are.
he around?
I don't know. I think he's dead. But, well, it's summer. He's probably out and about. Shoutouts to Raffle Waffle. I miss you, bud.
Oh yeah, I miss Raffle, man.
Keeping on. And again, thank you to PGI for this fantastically better viewer experience that the Spectator tool enables. And thank you all who are still watching. And if you're not here, if you tuned in, if you're watching the replay, do this because of you guys. And thank you.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you all won some mech bays, even though I know you didn't. But I hope you did. I hope someone else came in and gave you all mech bays. And we'll see you next week. I will make posts as soon as I know when the teams are scheduled. We'll get some hype going. Hopefully I can get some more mech bays, and we'll do it all again. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time, everybody.